Good morning, everybody. I'm just tapping on my do not disturb button. Yes! Here we are, Motivation Monday. And what a Monday. We are double blessed today because we have Ask Nurse Cindy this morning and we have Dr. Barry this evening. So I'm super, super excited. I'm so excited that I don't know if I want to drink water because it's getting kind of hot. Or I just made me a fresh cup of caramel drizzle coffee. Just flavored caramel coffee. Both are delicious. So, yes, I have sent instructions. I've sent links to Nurse Cindy. She's a self-admitted little technical challenge when it comes to doing these lives. So, we're going to give her a few minutes and see if we can't get her. I'm going to see if I can... Cindy. No, that's Cindy Winters. Good morning, Cindy and Cindy Lou. We've got so many Cindys. Woohoo! Let's see here. Guest requests. No. That's my viewers. How do I do an invite? Oh my goodness. Search group. Invite. I don't know. Cindy. Oh, and I can't even type Cindy. Ugh. Good Lord. It's hard to type. Okay. All right. We're going to see how this goes. Okay, we don't want to do it. Good morning. We're going to do our best here because, again, I hope she's got the right link. I hope she just sees Nancy Childress. I hope she accepted my friend request. I hope this all goes well. But we're going to stick with it. So, good morning. I'll just say good morning. I see y'all popping in. Make sure you do the shares. I got to work on these tan lines, y'all. Dang. So... Anywho, how's everybody doing on their carnivore challenge? I'm curious. I'm just curious. I'm going to scoot this back just a little bit. Good morning, Barry, Rebecca. I see y'all coming in. Oh, this thing's going to drive me nuts. There we go. Let's see. Dory girl, if you are in here, are you in here, Dory? Dory, because she knows how to get a hold of Cindy to help her out a little bit. Where's my Dory? Well, we shall see. We'll give it a few minutes. So, yes, let's talk about this. Yesterday, I was doing testing. Obviously, I'm on my phone this morning and not using that computer. But we were talking about carnivore. I posted this morning how I felt on it. I still haven't really gone potty, and it's uncomfortable. And I started having some cravings, and so that was not cool either, because I never want to deal with those again. I feel so wonderful. Oops. Slide that down. I just felt so, I don't know, I guess deprived even about it, because I'm one of those that, you know, I got to have my veg, and the meat was good for a couple days, but it's not something sustainable for me. Does it look like I have something on my face? Like, I don't know if it's shadowing or what. I guess it must be shadowing. Oh, well, it isn't. It is today. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I'm pulling a Robin, because Robin did that to me this last week. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh, well, if we can get her on today, we'll get her on today, because she's like, yes, I'm totally fine. So I've already chit-chatted with her, and we're good. And if I goofed on the dates, I'm so sorry. Oh, yes, the meat thing just doesn't work. That's what Cindy said. The meat thing just didn't work for me. And I think, you know, yesterday I said I was going to eat a buttload of veggies for dinner. But I didn't, because I did eat that chicken yesterday. I was sitting there Sunday, you know, after the kids all left, and I was like, it was cold chicken too, because my microwave went out. And I was just munching it, and it was thighs and legs, and I was just like, ugh, I'm done with this. I'm just so done. And I had coleslaw made up in there, and I went and took like a bite, and I was like, I don't want that. And then I made up this little, I don't know, I just took some macadamia nuts and some stevia chocolate chips and some coconut, and I toasted it all up and then rolled it into a crunchy granola bar, and I ate half of that, and that's all I ate the whole day. So, took some magnesium last night, or early, sometime in the middle of the night. And another thing, my cramps in my legs came back with a vengeance with this carnivore. So, if I was, really going heavy with the salt, then I started swelling and bloating. So I was just like, oh, this process, I don't know what's going on. And I'm hoping that we can get Nurse Cindy in here today, because if not, we have more opportunity. I know. She was messaging me privately, text messaging me and saying, which group and how do I find you and how do I do this? So, Kim's, your legs have been cramping too. I mean, I'm not talking about a little bit of I've always been the type of person when I start waking up in the morning, if I stretch, I'll get cramps in the back of my calves. That's been my whole life. Katie says, she's here. Kes, I can see you, but it's not giving me an option to add you. Cindy, are we friends on Facebook? Or Cindy, can you request to join? Does it give you an option? Let's see here. On viewers. Let's see if it says Cindy. Cindy. It doesn't. I sent you a friend request last week, Cindy, and I don't know that you accepted that, and that's on your personal Cindy Davis, here. Yay, here she comes. I'm so happy. Approve. Yes, we did it. Hey guys, get ready for the share.
Eureka! Yay!
Yay, we did it. Good morning.
I had to come in from my personal page. I don't know why. You know me. I am dyslexic on social media.
Well, the way Facebook works, you never know which one you have to go through. I just gave up because I was doing keto for real life people. And then all of a sudden, no, I couldn't do that anymore. So I just stay with my personal and I just flit around and tell everybody, hey, by the way, I'm keto for real life people.
It's confusing. So those that want to follow me on Facebook, just go to Ask Nurse Cindy, because I really don't post much on my personal page anymore.
That's it. There was no on your Ask Nurse Cindy. It's just a little, it's just weird because you never know week to week how Facebook is going to do it.
No. So hi, thank you for having me.
Good morning, and I'm so honored to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
How are you feeling on Carnivore? We got to jump, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It's day 6 for me. My glucose this morning was 99 fasting, which it was about an hour after I got up, so I think it's still a little bit of the dawn phenomena, but my ketones were 1.1. That's the highest early morning ketone level I've had. So I'm burning some sort of fat, either what I'm eating or what I'm wearing.
Well, I've given up yesterday. I threw in the flag yesterday, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible, for me. But in the same sense, I mean, I haven't really gained any weight. I haven't lost any weight, but I haven't pooped. I haven't pooped the whole time.
Well, there you have it. You're full of
Yeah, I told my girlfriend last night, I told Dory last night, I said, yeah, I'm just going to have veggies for dinner and with lots of avocado fat. And I just want to, get all that in. And I said, I probably got enough meat in my colon to last me at least for 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, you're good. You got amino acids everywhere. Yeah. So for me, it's been in many ways much easier than I thought it would be, but in other ways harder because I miss making things. I like to bake when I'm home. And you and I've talked some, and I travel a lot. I just happen to be home for these next couple of weeks. So Carnivore for me probably would have been easier to do when I was on the road because I don't have access to a kitchen. But I wanted to start the thing with Dr. Barry and Nisha. So here I am, and it's been all right. It's been, have I lost any weight? No. But I am noticing I think about food less. So I think my cravings are starting to go down. I'll give it the 2 weeks. I told my folks I'd give it 2 weeks, but I may not be happy by the end of it. And I may be like, hey, life is good.
Yeah, I was kind of being optimistic myself regarding that because, for me, I couldn't imagine not having my veggies. Plus, I'm a foodie. I mean, I love keto because I don't feel deprived. When I was doing this, even for 4 days, I was having a hard time wrapping my head around meat. Just meat. You can't. And that word that you can't have any of this, you can't have this, you can't. And I'm like, oh my God. It doesn't bother me
Yeah.
on keto to say I can't have these. Oh my God, there
Right,
was a
right. But carnivore's a lot more restrictive, and I'm trying to get myself from not being so angled. But the for me, I can almost guarantee, because I've been so satisfied and so content on keto for 2 years now.
Yes.
It's not like this is a that I would seriously be surprised if this is a lifestyle for me, because I too love to bake. I love to do things. I know that's a large part of what you do.
Yeah,
because you've got some amazing recipes. I'm so glad I got to be on your other page and look through all your stuff. And I keep looking at your recipes and I'm going, yeah, can't do that, can't do that. But I will tell you what I've done. I did those egg cups. I call them my carnivore cups yesterday. They're like little egg quiches. Those have been great. I brought some for breakfast. I haven't eaten yet. I just am not hungry today. I tend to eat breakfast more on the weekends than I do when I'm at work. And
that way too.
This is, you know, shows you I'm a nurse because I have my little friend here. But I made the cups yesterday, and then last night I made the crustless taco pie. I made a double batch. My husband got all the onion. I can't do onions, but he got the onions and the salsa and that stuff, and I made mine just with the eggs, the taco meat. So that taco seasoning is, of course, not strict carnivore, and the heavy whipping cream not strict, and the cheese
I was
not
like,
strict.
yes. And I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to certain like things like, okay, so I should just only do carnivore, but it was hard. I was taking pork medallions and splashing them with some beef broth, having to add some butter and a little heavy cream and make a reduction. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I can't be Dr. Barry. I'd love to have his hair or Nisha's hair. I would trade my hair for either of theirs. But I don't think I'm going to be a ribeye steak once a day for the rest of 6 months. Nah. But it's good to experiment. That's one of the things that, because I've been in a stall, I lost my first 70. I lost 70 pounds the first year fairly rapidly. And then this next year, it really has been 5 pounds, although my size keeps changing. So I'm in medium shirts, it's amazing. Some small shirts. And I think it's because it's protein sparing. I bought my first size 6 suit jacket the other day. Amazing. So the size is changing, but I've only lost 5 pounds this last year. So I'm willing to try carnivore. Maybe it'll jumpstart me. Maybe I can drop my insulin resistance some. And
that was my main thing too. First of all, as a group leader, you just want to be, everybody was all abuzz about this. And, Dr. Barry just loved
because we all love Dr. Barry. We
do. And so I'm thinking, hey, I'm going to commit to this. But again, for me, like a deal breaker, my husband drives a over the road truck. We have our own truck and he wants me to go with him. But the minute I set foot in that truck, I cannot go to the bathroom. It's a deal breaker. If I can't go to the bathroom, we're done. You go out, you do your thing. Okay, Doctor.
No, it's great. I mean, I'm sorry for you. I commiserate with you.
Yes. I mean, at one point I had been on the road with him for almost 3 months. And I was laying on the sleeper in the back on the computer, but my God, then I was pushing like 250 and I was just so miserable. And I said, I feel like Jabba the Hutt just laying back here. Like I'm not going to even be able to fit out of this truck if I don't get off the road, And
oh my gosh, bless your heart.
It becomes an issue. But when I'm home and I'm eating veg and I'm having my good fats, I'm good. I'm good for go every day,
Well, I never thought I'd be able to give up my carbs. I was truly a carbaholic, but I did. And I acclimated fairly quickly to keto because it's such luscious food. So I'll give this the 2-week shot and then and I'm posting stuff every day, just letting people how I know, how I'm doing and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Now I think you're the braver person of the two of us. I really do. On the physical symptoms though, we've had a few members that experience some things and I don't understand the science part of it, so maybe you could help us.
Okay.
First of all, there are those of us, me included, but we already are prone to having muscle cramps in knees below it always. Keto was a transition because the muscle cramps in our legs became so severe. Then we finally just had to really up the salt and do this. Carnivore brought them back with a vengeance. For about 4 or 5 of us have said, hey, me too. don't understand what's taking place and why are we, it's not just the back of your shin muscles going nodding up, it's the tops of your toes, it's the bottom of your feet, it's the top of your shins, and deformed so terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
living the
Well, I've done that where my great toe is sticking straight up to the ceiling, or it's trying to go out to the left or right, anywhere where it shouldn't be. So here's my theory on that. Here's my theory. And I've been following other Nisha and other people doing carnivore, and listening to a lot of carnivore podcasts by folks that are following it, just to see what you hear. So one of the things that carbohydrates do, whether it's net or total, so if you follow 20 net, you might be eating 50 total grams, depending on what you're supplementing with. But our body, one of the things it does when it has a gram of carbohydrate come into it, it's going to hold on to 4 grams of water. All right. So let's say you were 30 net or total, and you drop that because you've gone carnivore and you're maybe eating 1 or 2 from your heavy whipping cream. Potentially, you've diuresed, you've urinated some more of those electrolytes out. And so what was a stable magnesium and potassium has now been altered again, because if we lose sodium, it's called the sodium potassium pump in our cells. If sodium is released in our urine, potassium follows it.
Right.
So, and we'll lose magnesium as well. So I would, for those that are still with carnivore or ever experienced that, it's your body telling you my electrolyte imbalance is off. So whether that you start upping your new salt or your magnesium or your potassium or whatever it is, your salt. One of the things I found about my salt shots, because that Salt Fix book by Dr. James D. Nicolantonio talks about the huge value. More elderly people are admitted with low sodium levels than any other diagnosis for them being admitted. Just, I'm not talking about someone that's diabetic, but geriatric patients. So sodium's a vital electrolyte, and it's very, very sensitive to a lot of different things. So I'm thinking, because I've been reading some of those too, I haven't experienced that for me, but I've also been very intentional about my salt shots. And I used to put it in a little jigger of warm water and shoot it back, but the taste.
Yeah, that's hard
I found
on the
that,
stomach.
I just take a pinch of it, okay, and I put it middle back of my tongue, because my salt sensors in my tongue are on the sides and the sort of the top. I don't even taste it, and then I drink a full glass of water. And so for me, that's really helped. And the other thing is that we do so much with the pink Himalayan or Celtic sea salt, which isn't iodized. Right. And iodine is a vital thing for our thyroid function. It's another thing that we have to maintain to have good. So that Lugol solution that Dr. Berry talks about might help in the overall scheme of things, because a lot of us are now, there used to be huge goiters that people had because of iodine.
My mother had
deficiency.
one.
Yeah, they used to be like really big. Now that's why iodized salt is out there, but now a lot of us don't like the iodized salt because it's been heat processed at such a high temperature. So if you're going to do Celtic, or if you're going to do pink Himalayan, be sure you at least consider that maybe you need to supplement with some iodine. But the muscle cramps, I'm not quite sure, but I think it might be some more diuresis, which is a medical term for urination, that you've lost more water.
Well, it makes sense, and it's helpful. My thing too was I use, we don't have new salt brand, but we've got the Morton's Light Salt, same thing, and it's potassium, but it does have the iodine added to it. So what I try to do is I take a pinch of that, and then I take a pinch of the Himalayan, and I just blend them up, and I'll put them in my electrolyte drinks, or even when I'm cooking with it, I do a little bit of both just to add some iodine in there. Awesome. Another thing that one of our members experienced was her blood pressure shot up starting out on the carnivore diet. Now, she did report today, I think today was her 5 or 6, that it did balance back out. But she was really concerned because it was like 160 over 105. And she was eating beef and salted beef, steak. And that's all it was seasoned with. And I looked everywhere for an answer for her. But is this just, again, another shift that's taking place?
Could be it. Yeah, it could be a shift in the electrolytes. Yeah. Gosh, does she have a history of hypertension? Is she on meds? Do you know?
Tanya, if you're watching, let me, I don't know if she's on meds, but I think she is. And I did get a little bit of help through the Carnivore Tribe group, because they're a huge carnivore Facebook group. And so they kind of hooked up with her and at least said, hey, you know, you're going to balance out, or if not. But I thought, why would your blood pressure all of a sudden do a flip on you?
Yeah.
Carnivore.
Yeah. So what blood pressure is blood pressure is when our vessels, so if you think about a small garden hose versus a large garden hose, we want our vessels, especially our arteries, which is what blood pressure is measuring, to be nice and relaxed. We want them to not be, so constricted that when the heart pumps and tries to pump blood through our body, that it meets resistance. And that's what high blood pressure is. So our vessels are, for whatever reason, clamped down. And so a lot of the blood pressure medications will help relax those arteries. So for whatever reason, she had, and it can happen from stress, going into the doctor's office and getting your blood pressure tested is not as, you're stressed about it, right? Especially if you have hypertension.
Well, she just responded no pills. She's not on blood pressure medication.
Okay. So that would be really a challenge to know why she did that. And of course, as a nurse and not a doctor, Dr. Berry might be able to answer that better. But if it has leveled out, did she stay carnivore or did she go back?
She's still carnivore. She is. And she posted this morning that, she her blood pressure has leveled out today.
Good.
But
hard to say. Was it because protein has what they call an osmotic pull? It's a large molecule. It's a heavy molecule. And when we have more amino acids in our bloodstream, it tends to pull fluid in because we want to have balance of electrolytes. And it's like the body always seeks its balance. So that's why after you eat a real salty meal, you're thirsty because the body knows it needs to balance things out and flush that sodium out. So hard to say, but I'm glad she's doing better, because if you had told me your blood pressure was 130 over 78, I would have been it. You said 160 over 110. I'm like, no.
Yeah, so that's a bit high. And it,
that's a bit high. Yeah.
And then I think the last thing we were going to talk about, I mean, we've had the constipation, we've had high blood pressure, we've had leg cramps, and then there's also me and other members who all of a sudden started craving keto, not carbs, like I haven't had cravings in 8 months. But for me, by day 3, I was passing out Pop-Tarts to my grandchildren because they're my grandchildren and I can spoil them. But I never wanted to eat a Pop-Tart so bad in my life. I was just like, oh my gosh. And others are saying that too. Like, it's scary. It's scary as a person who feels like you've been set free finally from even thinking about that sort of stuff, to wanted to just shove it in your mouth and feel so afraid. So again, what is it again? It's that shift, I guess, that's saying, hey, you're taking carbs to a new level.
Yeah, I think so. I think that and I'm pontificating, I'm postulating, I'm hypothesizing. I like to use multi-syllable words sometimes because I don't get to use them often. But I think that probably my low battery, this not be good if I shut down, and I don't think I have a charger with me. Oh yeah, I do. I think that what might be happening would be that if we've been doing net carbs
Hold on here, she's plugging her phone in. Something paused. Lori D, you say Pop-Tarts always call you. They don't. I can have all of that stuff just sitting in my house and it's not an issue. I don't know if Nurse Cindy can come back on. Maybe we'll give it a second to see, because she needed to plug her phone in. But if not, we can pop her out. Yeah, I can have a house full of stuff. Yep, she's out and she can request to come back in. So, yeah, I've got cupcakes sitting here. I can have graham crackers and Hershey bars and marshmallows for the grandkids for s'mores. I mean, none of my family is keto except for, a couple of daughters. And so I don't even think about it anymore. Ice cream, potatoes, French fries, or added fish sticks. My house is full of junk food. But 3 days into carnivore, and let me tell you what, I was just like, I want it really, 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 really bad. And I told myself, no. And this is not worth it. So I think she was, let's see if Cindy can come back in. If she's watching, all she has to do is request again. No sound. If you get a no sound, ladies, drop it down, pop it back up. It's Facebook all the way. So Let's see. Anywho. Okay, here she comes. There we go. So yay! Ah, a fly.
Go figure. Go figure.
There
So
we
it's
go.
off of the tripod now. So what I'm thinking might be happening is that you're once again, by making your body make its energy, by dropping whatever carbs you have been eating, it's a shift. And so just like when you went into ketosis for the first time and you had to detox from that, I think you're forcing your body now to use its glycogen stores up. And so that's my theory. And I'm sorry about dropping off there for a while, but that's my theory, is that that's what's happening, because I noticed that I was wanting to, for the first 3 days, I was really wanting to have carbs again, but I'm over that. I'm good. But yeah, it's scary to, when you've been set free for 2 years or however long those of us that are listening have been on it, to be set free and then go back to it again is very scary.
Yeah, it was.
You know, not that I went back to eating Pop-Tarts or anything like that, but I know what you mean about to start craving again is very scary, because I just worry I'm going to go off the deep end and be.
Well, and it feels good to talk to somebody who, you know, has got a hypothesis, a theory. And, you know, again, you know, I have a live with Dr. Barry tonight, and I'm sure we'll discuss it more. And maybe, probably, now I really said, okay, yesterday I ate some chicken and I was going to eat a bunch of vegetables last night. I didn't, because I ate some nuts and I ate some coconut and I had a couple of, you know, stevia chips. But because I'd already ate chicken earlier in the day, I couldn't eat another bite for the rest of the day. So technically, I say I quit. Technically, I really haven't gone that far off of carnivore. Very strayed very little bit. If I could just go potty, understand why my electrolytes are off, understand that I might go through some cravings again. And I think this is something we didn't really think about when we all just jumped on the bandwagon. At least
no, because it was like, cool, we respect and just adore Dr. Barry and his wife Nisha, and they're going to do it. I'll try it. And my motivation was to see if I could, like, whatever's going on with my insulin and my fastings being in the mid to high 90s in the morning, could I change that by really super restricting my carbs for a while, and then sort of do an elimination diet in reverse, sort of add stuff back in bit by bit. So we'll see how it goes. But I think it's certainly not for every. What did I just do? It's certainly.
Oh, you were there. She's just having fun with her phone. Well, here's the thing, you guys. I had an easier. Oh, there you are.
I'm getting silly. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
It's all good.
It's because I didn't charge my phone last night. But I think it's not. I think that the biggest thing is to keep your carbohydrates at a level that you're not feeling the cravings, that you're content. Because here's what my family, we say: it needs to be simple, satisfying, and here's the big S: sustainable.
Yeah.
And if carnivore is not sustainable, go back to what was, because over time you're going to win if you don't give up. The big bad thing I'd hate for anybody to do would be to say, well, heck with this, I'm going back to the sad diet, the stupid American diet. So,
well, you know what, Nurse Cindy, I am going to quote you on that: simple, satisfying and sustainable. So I do graphic things, little quotes and whatnot. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put back there Nurse Cindy, and I'm gonna put that all over Instagram and everywhere for you, because I love that.
Good, thank you.
That's an awesome.
Because you know I'm social media not. I was talking to you the other night. We had the nicest conversation. I went out and I looked at my husband. I said, that was the nicest conversation with someone that I immediately felt bonded with. Aww. And I kept saying, well, I kept saying, how do you do that? Nancy, how do you do that? What do you mean? How do you do that?
It's a learning curve. I spent all day yesterday. Well, I had a weekend with my grandchildren, just me and Saturday night.
Yeah. There I go again. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I spent all day yesterday trying to, and to the point I had a headache trying to learn technical stuff, which I didn't get anywhere. But at least, you know, I try, and eventually I will learn it. So it's all good. Before I don't know how long we've been on or whatever. I love it. She's Kathy.
You've been on longer than me, clearly.
Oh no. I just started doing this. I don't know, how long have you been doing it? I've been doing this 8 months now.
No. I meant this video. You've been on longer.
Oh,
I've been doing Esther Cindy, probably Esther Cindy a little bit over a year. Yeah, a little bit over a year.
Oh, yeah. I'm at this 8 months, and it was all accidental. But you know, I love techie stuff. I just don't like techie and being an expert. They're worlds apart, and I'm neither. So
yeah, I still don't get Instagram and Twitter. I still don't understand them. So
okay, so I'm going to go back real quick because we were just having that conversation when that phone fell on you. I really, and I think a lot of us assumed when it came down to this carnivore challenge that it would be simple because we've done, you know, we've already been through keto flu, and we've done different things like others have done beef fast or egg fast, or me, I love fat fast. I can just sip on bone broth and fats and do like non-sweet fat bombs and just for days, and I feel wonderful. So I thought that this was going to be such an easy peasy.
Yeah.
But
well, and I think one of the things we need to remember, Nancy, is that each of us have a different genetic profile. Each of us have a different history. It may be easier for men than women. So Dr. Berry, while he was pre-diabetic before he started his paleo transition to keto, now carnivore, I've been obese for my entire life. I mean, my highest weight was 307. So I, as a woman with different genetics and different, you know, backgrounds and long-standing history of insulin resistance, may have a totally different response. And that's one of the things when people say, Cindy, post exactly what you eat every day, I want to do that. I'm like, A, I don't have time because I work full time. And B, no, because it would do you a disservice. So I think we each need to be honored that listen to your body, listen to where you feel good, where you feel sustained and satisfied. And if I can like I told you at the beginning, probably almost guarantee that I will not, this will not be my lifestyle. I'll be very surprised if I become carnivore.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could learn. And another one of my members said this wonderfully. What she's taking away from it is that she's learned she could lower her carbs even more and still feel okay. But she has to have her stuff. But she found that some of the sweeteners, maybe a few of the extra fat bombs, a little of the extra dairy really wasn't necessary and was causing that stall. While she doesn't want to stay carnivore, she found what was causing her stall and was able to simplify and add the more greens and get away from a little bit of this and that. So it's a great learning experience. And I think
I think so.
A shot for sure.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right. I think if our bodies have this real desire for homeostasis, it really wants to have everything sort of, and when we eat exactly the same foods, when we are not challenging our body and mixing it up. And that's one of the things that I think carnivore or a fat fast or an egg fast, it allows us to sort of, my sister and I, when we went on that low carb cruise, which I'm a speaker on next May 31st, the one going out of New Jersey. I was so excited when I was so excited when Jimmy Moore asked me to be a speaker, because my sister and I just went to experience it. But and it's always nice to have rules. And we said to each other, we're going to eat as much of anything we want that's keto. All the fat, all the meat, and salads and greens, but we are not going to have bread, and we're not going to go to the dessert bar. And we ate like little piggy pigs. We ate pigs, I think. So we had escargot and lobster and butter sauce, and we had, we'd go to the pizza place at night, and we'd strip all the cheese and meat off of the pizza and just stack up the pizza crust. One night Kim Howerton and a bunch of us, we stacked up, I think we had 44 pieces, like a leaning tower of pizza crust. But anyway,
that's hilarious.
Came back, and both my sister and I had lost weight. And I think it was because we had unique foods, we had different amounts. So I think carnivore for me might be that same trend, and just something to mix it up.
Right. It's a tool. Well, last but not least, I want to touch on what inspired me to reach out to you, because I was watching your live one morning, and it was just last week, and you had your coffee. And again, this just kind of ties in with what you were saying about your crew, is stirring things up, because we become complacent in everything. It doesn't have to be just food. And I just love your analogy on this. And if you wanted to share that.
Yeah, well, like my coffee. So I think it's probably still in the fridge. I love iced coffee. And when I mix my heavy whipping cream in with it and have the ice in it, things tend to separate, and the heavy whipping cream floats to the top and the coffee. And if I were just to drink that, it's not satisfying. So stirring it up. In other words, mix up things in your life and stir yourself up. Stir yourself up. Don't feel that you've been disappointed if carnivore wasn't for you. You say, you know what? I've discovered something. Self-talk is so important. How we speak to ourselves, how we think about ourselves.
Yeah.
And we can stir ourselves up to failure, or we can stir ourselves, you know, I'm all stirred up. I'm pissed off, you know, or you can say, man, I'm motivated and I'm excited. And I found that my metabolism needs those greens. My satiety center needs to feel like I'm having treats, and I don't get that on carnivore. So to be aware of how we're thinking, because I was reading this really good book called the 4-8 Principle, and it basically, and another one's called Light Up Your Brain by Dr. Carolyn Leaf. And basically every single action that we do begins with a thought first. You know, so even if I have a knee-jerk reaction to something scaring me, I think I'm at danger, and I jerk back. So when we choose to eat a Pop-Tart, or we choose to buy that we thought about it first, and we stirred ourselves up that I deserve it, and this is too restrictive, or, you know, well, carnivore didn't work for me, so keto must not work for me.
Permission statements.
Yeah, so stirring ourselves up can be to the negative, or it can be to the positive. And I think that we are all worth feeling vital and energetic. And I got sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And the only thing in my entire life that ever allowed me to feel the way I feel was dropping my carbs. It doesn't have to be carnivore, but just I had to drop the processed. And we'll all figure out where we are if we don't give up. That's the key. Don't give up.
Oh, what a wonderful note to end on. Cindy, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure having you here. I don't know, you look frozen to me, so hopefully it's not me frozen, but
nope,
you have
been
good. Wonderful. And I hope that we can do this again. This would be great.
I would be honored. That would be great. I'd be honored. Awesome.
Well, everybody, give a shout out, give the hearts, give the love, and just let her know in the comments just how much you appreciated her being here. I'm honored myself, and I can't wait to do it again. Have a wonderful time off, and enjoy your home. Enjoy well, I know you're doing carnivore, but when you get done, I'm sure you're going to be doing some baking.
Oh, I am. For sure. I will. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody.
There we go. Yes, you guys. She is a pleasure. I'm going to tell you, that was one of the funnest people that I've had the honor to do a live with. And she's just so gracious and sweet. And I hope that we get to get her back. Hopefully next month. I think once a month, just getting different perspectives is really helpful. And I think it's motivating for all of us. You guys, if you get an opportunity, share, tag your friends. Get this out there, share it to groups, wherever. And then remember, tonight at 6:30, we've got Dr. Barry. So invite your friends to that too. I mean, you can go over to the event. It'll let you invite friends, tag friends, whatever. And if you have any questions for Dr. Barry, please go over there to that event announcement where it says Dr. Barry tonight. And if I've messed up on the date, don't worry about it. I'll fix it. But ask any questions that you might have there. It makes it much easier for me to just scroll along and have, you know, he can only answer so many in 30 minutes. But at least if those are in place, we've got questions ready. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. I will see you tonight at 6:30. Remember, fats first, moderate protein, low carb, and get you some.